Good morning, welcome back to the channel, and I hope you all was on the tips from yesterday, where from two tips we had one that disappointed but the next definitely didn't. Surprise package 20-1, James Bowen cruising to the front, and he stretched away to win the Imperial Cup at Sandown by 9 lengths. I've also put this horse up before that for the County Hurdle at 25-1. It's now 6-1 for that. So Peter Fahey, he is a magician, and this horse I'm hoping can back it up next week if he wins the County Hurdle, and it's definitely going to be some bit of tipping from me, but without that you're only as good as your last tip, as they say. So I thought I'd give out two tips for today's racing over at Naas, and I like another one at 20-1 trained by a Fahey, so this could be an ominous sign. And the horse that I like is Der Mac, I think that's how you pronounced it, over in the 330 at Naas. It's not the strongest race of all time, but this horse is definitely one that catches the eye. Now, he hasn't had the most starts over hurdles, only the 6, and he's never actually finished in the frame, which would be a bit of a concern, but off a handicap mark of 94, I definitely think there's some improvement to come, and I think he could be a little bit better than that in time. He was a modest horse on the flat, although he won one race, he was placed in a few more, he's rated in the 50s on the flat, so that's nothing special, but this horse definitely does catch the eye. I think his latest comeback was back from a break just the other day when he fell, and he was never going to win that day, and he wasn't making much of an impression when he fell. He didn't look like he was going to get involved, but he's been dropped a pound from that. And the most interesting thing for me is the jockey booking in Danny Mullins taking the ride. In the past, this horse has been ridden by inexperienced claimers in general, really, so that catches the eye that Danny Mullins has been booked on this horse. And this horse does have some interesting back form in maiden hurdles with 4 horses like Grand Paradis, Priory Park, who were both turned out to be much better than his handicap mark of 94, and also Grand Bernard, who also he has run in behind. So I think there's a little bit of interesting form there with some horses which have improved and is a lot better than 95 rated horses as well. So I think this horse, second run back from a break, he'll definitely strip fitter for his latest run. That was on the 24th of February, and it was a fall, so he's had 17 days to get over that. I think the soft ground won't be a problem at all. He showed some decent enough form on the flat when he was on soft ground, and at 20-1, where bookmakers are paying a lot of places in this race, it's not like 27, 28 runners, I think he's definitely a little bit of value at 20-1, hoping to give another 20-1 winner for the channel. Now the next tip comes just over an hour later in the 440, also at Naas, in the Leinster National Handicap Chase, and I'm taking a chance on Alpha Mix in this one. At the end of the day, this horse could just be a little bit better than its mark of 134. He's only had the 7 runs over fences so far. He's had a second and a third, and I think there is room for improvement from this horse. His performance the last day was behind a few of these, including Champagne Platinum, who is favourite for this race, and also Stones and Roses, who's a bit shorter in the betting. Now, he was beaten a long way, but for me, that day was a clear non-stayer over 3 miles and 4 furlongs on heavy ground. He drops back 4 furlongs in trip today, and he gets a featherweight thanks to the top weight running, who is Franco de Paul. That goes off a mark of 158 and carries 11 stone 12. So Alpha Mix has just squeezed in off 10 stone 12, and I think 10 stone 2, I should say, and he has shown promising form. Drops back in trip. His penultimate start, he was sent off 6-1 in a very competitive 0-150 handicap with horses like Death Duty and Braeside, who will be representing Gordon Elliott at Cheltenham. So I think that was strong enough, and the market support that day suggests that is worth keeping an eye on, and a lot better was expected when he ultimately did underwhelm. And he's got his cheek pieces back on today. If that could just sharpen him up just a little bit, he could run into a place at least at 14-1. So there's my 2 tips for today. Hopefully we can have a winner like we did yesterday, but again, just some small stakes today, as we're very close to Cheltenham and we don't want to throw away our profit from yesterday. So there's my two selections. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if also you could like the previous video where after all a 20-1 winner was tipped, that'll help to push my channel out even more. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow where I'll be giving out my selections for day one of the Cheltenham Festival.